we're back, you guys. The software got hung up and it shut off. So sorry about that, but we're back. So this is why. So you guys, after, oh my gosh, 9, 10 months of this stuff, it's been about 9 months now since I started meeting people in Gaza, since I started talking with and video chatting with and seeing in real time what their experience is. Being with them and hearing the drones in the background, being with them and getting pictures sent to me of bodies and all of the things, right? And here's the thing, you cannot tell me that what I see with my own eyes is not happening. You cannot tell me that they're all lying and BB is telling the truth. No, thank you. That's the man that's been lying for fucking 30, 40 years now. No. I believe my own eyes. And it's just that simple. Do you really think that every humanitarian organization in the world is lying on Israel? Because every single one of them says they are starving people. They are torturing people. They are committing war crimes. What are you talking about? I don't know what you're talking about. Cope? What are you talking about? Yeah, Pin 1010, it crashed. So I'm back. Like, I'm just like, listen, folks, this is reality. And you got to ask yourself, if you are someone, what do you mean citing? What do you mean citing? The word that you are spelling means to reference something. The word that you are using means to refer to something. So I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, definitely not. Thanks, Be Action. Appreciate that. No, she's not talking about the pics that I sent because I'm not talking about a Palestinian journalist. She's not talking about what I'm talking about because I didn't mention a Palestinian journalist. So that's why I said I don't know what she's talking about, because I literally am, or he, whoever it is, don't put links in my chat. Don't put links in my chat. And again, here's my thing. I'm going to be just very, very clear for you. I don't care what you have to say. I don't care. I'll tell you what it was proven. Let me just show you. Hold on. Oh. You ready? Here we go. I'm going to show you what is proven. Let me show you. You ready, Cope? I hope you're paying attention, because I ain't got but so much time for your foolishness. Yeah, you're welcome, Tracy. Yeah, it went down. Give me 1 second. I want to show you all something. All right. So, and I'm not going to play this whole clip, but what I am going to do is shut you up with facts. That's what I'm going to do. That's what I'm going to do real quick. All right, here we go. And this was released by like the head of their Israeli legal system.
עצורי חמאס שוכבים על הרצפה כפותים, עיניהם מכוסות. הנה כאן קבוצה של חיילי המילואים מכוח 100, יחידה המשמשת לאבטחת המתקן. הם לוקחים את המחבל, משמשת לאבטחת המתקן. הם לוקחים את המחבל, הנה הם כאן בפינת המתקן, כנראה מודעים למצלמות האבטחה, נסים להסתיר מעשיהם במגינים. הצילום כל סדום בנסיבות אינוס. הפציעות נגרמו מהחדרה של חפץ. תחילת החודש עבר, שעת ערב מאוחרת, מחנה הכליאה הראי...
So, I'm just going to tell you right now, you can miss all of the bullshit. All of it. Good morning, Gladys. You can miss me with every bit of the bullshit. I believe my eyes. I believe the people that I know. That's what I believe. Yeah, so just so everybody understands, this is a regular thing that occurs. They do it to torture the men. They want to break them down. They believe that it is like psychological warfare to do those types of things. Just so everyone is very clear on that. So here's what I'm going to do. Okay, I am going to open up the panel now. All right. And we can have discussion. If you are new to me, I'm just going to tell you right now, number one, be respectful when you come on my panel. Keep yourself on mute until I get to you, right? And then be prepared to discuss facts and have things verified and have sources, because that's what I do in this space. All right? Just that simple. So give me a second, folks. Holy jeez. There are some folks that I don't know if you meant to request to come up here or not, but we're just going to give it a, oh, not TikTok telling me something about a scavenger hunt. Not TikTok telling me something about a scavenger hunt when I click this. You didn't mean to? I got you, royalty. No worries. I was like, really? I clicked something and it said something about a scavenger hunt. I was like, I don't know what I just touched. All right. I got you, B Action. No worries.
I have a question, Dani.
Sure.
You know, I'm still learning because, you know, I was on that side. Okay, so my question is, and I guess this goes back to what you was talking about the Christian nationalists and all that.
Mm-hmm.
But the Bible says that we're supposed to support Israel, or, you know, that was the Holy Lands. So my question is it okay to support the people of Israel but not the government? Or like this part of it is so confusing.
Okay, so let's just back up for a couple of seconds. Okay, so the Israel that is mentioned in the Bible refers to Israel in the Bible is not talking about the state of Israel that is formed today. Okay, the Israel that is formed today are Eastern Europeans that are not from that land. So if you remember when Jacob wrestled with God all night, Jacob was called Israel. His name was changed to Israel. And we are talking about his descendants, which are not.
If I understand correctly, and like the Bible is complex, but if I understand correctly, are they not talking about the Jews?
So if you remember, Jesus said Jew and Gentile are the same. They are equal. They are alike. And so people have to make a distinction between the Old Testament and the New Testament. When Jesus came, so in the Bible, now let me just say this to you all, folks. If you do not believe in Christianity, that's fine, but do not denigrate someone else's belief. Southern Hell, I'm talking to you. So listen, what I don't do is I do not criticize or debate other people's faith, right? What people choose to believe is what people choose to believe. The only time I care about your faith is when you weaponize it against other people. Okay, that's when I have a problem with. And so do not denigrate or talk bad about somebody else's faith. She's not asking you to believe what she believes. Okay?
No, I'm just trying to understand it all, because like I have said, okay, so like before the MTJD and all of that debacle, I have said there's something about BB that I cannot put my finger on. That guy is evil.
Yeah, that's your discernment. That's what that's called. That's called discernment. So listen,
so like I've had conversations because like I do believe there's a higher power, whatever we choose to call him.
Yeah,
that's fine.
Or her. Yep.
Or her. Yes, that's fine. But my thing is so many people say, "Oh, that's the Holy Lands. You don't mess." And I do know that there's stories in the Bible that I've heard. Of course, like some people are saying, it's just a book.
Yeah.
Well, okay, we can go with that.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not saying that what I believe is correct or wrong. I don't know.
Right. But so follow me. So here's the thing, okay? So this is my thing. Do you believe that God has favorites?
No.
Then that's your answer. He doesn't favor Israelis over anybody else. That's the answer. God does not have favorites. And even Jesus said so. Jesus said the Jew and the Gentile are the same. God does not have favorites. And so what we have to understand is the role that Christianity has played in our country, in our lives, and in our propaganda, and definitely in our politics. The Israel that exists today is not the Israel of the Bible. They're not. So the Israel that exists today is it exists because they requested to create a national home for Jews, and they chose to call themselves Israelites. No, the Jews are not still God's chosen people. Jesus said the Jews and the Gentile are the same. They are not, listen, they don't have any more access to God than anybody else. No, y'all. So listen, when you understand, listen, and the way that I'm going to have this conversation, listen, you guys, the way that I'm going to have this conversation is from the Christian perspective. And I'm going to have this conversation from the Christian perspective because that is the person that I'm having the conversation with. Okay. And this is the way that I was raised as well. So give me a second. So the scripture is Romans chapter 10, verse 12. And it says in the King James Version, quote, "For there is no difference between the Jew and the Greek, for the same Lord over all is rich unto all that call upon him." In the New International Version, it says, "For there is no difference between the Jew and the Gentile. The same Lord is Lord of all and richly blesses all that call upon him." No, the Bible doesn't say that, I smoke. And I think it's important for people to understand the distinction. When Jesus came into being, right? If you practice Christianity, right? I just said, femboy, that Gentile is the New International Version. And I also read the King James Version. I literally read both of those. Okay. So if you're talking about it from a Christian perspective, the Old Testament is the book of law, right? And when Jesus came on the scene, he said, you are no longer under the law, because Jesus brought grace and forgiveness and salvation. Okay? So whatever the Old Testament says, you are no longer under that law, which is why Jesus said there is no distinction between the Jew or the Greek, the Jew or the Gentile. He said there's no distinction. He said God is God and rich to all of those that call upon him. So there is no. So that would be the first thing. God does not have favorites. The second thing would be that the Israel that exists today is a state that is not the Israel of the Bible. The Israel of the Bible refers to the descendants specifically of Jacob, which is not who is in Israel. The folks that are in Israel, that established Israel, are Eastern European Jews. They are from Europe. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah. So it's, yeah, right. And for the person who said it in the comments, yes, Galatians 3:28 says the same thing, right? So if you are looking at that scripture in the King James Version, it says, there is neither Jew nor Greek, there bond nor free, there is neither male nor female, for ye are all one in Christ Jesus. And so if you are a believer and you believe that the New Testament is the inspired word of God that God gave to the disciples to write no, this is not about Jews. This is not about Jewish people. It's not about being real Jews. It's that they are not the Jewish people designated and talked about in the Bible. They can be Jews all day long. They're just not the Jews from the Middle East. They are the Jews from Eastern Europe, because Jews live all over the world. And again, I smoke. And when you are talking about the Bible, you are specifically, if you believe in the Bible, period, right? You don't get to pick and choose which part of it you believe. I want to be clear about that. You do not get to you don't get to pick and choose which part of it you believe. Either you believe that the Bible is the inspired word of God, or you don't. You either believe that it is whole and complete, or you don't. You either believe that the New Testament is the inspired word of God, right? Given to his disciples to write after his demise, after he rose again, or you don't. So it's not, and I want to tell you this, if you really want to, when you talk about supporting the people that live in Israel, here's what I will say is, if you go and you watch many, many interviews with the people in Israel, they say some of the most horrific things about Palestinians. They say that all of them need to be unalived, even the children. That's what they say. And so for me, well, it is. And I will show you. Let me just show you, because that's easier. It's easier for me to play them. I'm going to play their words so you can see them. That's what we're going to do today. Okay, hold on. Oh, low B. Y'all just going to make me do all the things today.
Sorry, Dani.
No, you're good. You're good. Oh yeah, no, they tore down a Christian temple. Listen, they do not, when they go to unalive Palestinians, they do not ask, are you a Palestinian Muslim? Are you a Palestinian Jew? Are you a Palestinian Christian? They just unalive you if you're a Palestinian. They don't make a distinction based on your faith. Right. They blew up the church. I didn't say all of them. So again, I don't use words that are all inclusive. I don't say all of them. Here's what I know is that enough of them believe that they keep electing the same people. Enough of them believe that they're not revolting to try to protect the people of Palestine. They're not pushing their government to not do that. So just to be damn clear, hold on, folks. Jesus. Okay, so let me see if I can just go specifically to his page. Here we go. All right, so what I'm going to do, maybe later. Thank you very much. Thank you later. Thank you later. Thank you later. Let me share my screen with you guys. Morning, Jody. Good to see you. All right. So this guy is across all socials, but also on TikTok. Here we go. Let me take this down. And some of you guys are going to know him as soon as you see him. So this is Hamza. He lives in the US. And what he does is he streams on a particular service. And he talks to people all over the place, but specifically he has conversations with folks that are Israeli. This is an IDF soldier.
Hello?
Oh my God, I saw you in the TikTok and you hate Israel and Q.
Free Palestine.
Free Omak.
Are you guys in the IDF?
Yeah.
How do you like it?
I like it. I kill Palestine.
You killed Palestinians before?
Yes, because you are sucks.
Oh, because we suck. You killed us before? These are people in the IDF. Insane. Hello?
So that's one. We'll do.
Hi.
Oh, you're the one that with the Free Palestine.
What do you think about Israel bombing Gaza and killing all the civilians?
I don't think nothing. I think they should have it. I think that what?
You said you think they should be bombed?
Yeah.
The innocent lives. Are the kids being bombed in Gaza? Is that okay?
Yeah.
The kid. Maybe you didn't hear me. I'll ask you again. Are the kids?
Yeah, you know why? Okay, yalla, bye.
Again, I'm just randomly picking. I am literally just randomly picking.
You love Israel?
Palestino Israel.
You love Israel?
Palestino Israel.
Why are you being aggressive? Can you chill?
Palestino Israel. אתה לא מבין?
I will answer your question if you calm down.
Palestino Israel.
Why are you so aggressive? Why are you?
Palestino Israel. You are לא מבין?
Why are you?
This is all the time, and it doesn't matter.
Oh my God, you're from TikTok, the Palestinians, Free Israel.
From what? From what?
From
From what? Yeah. Oh man, you are clueless. Free Palestine. Free Palestine.
Oh my God, you're from.
She said free Israel. He said from what? But literally, this is what, and he does it all the time, and you can watch it as much as you want. And so for me, it just is what it is. Yeah. So there's nothing else to be said. But right. you can watch Abby Martin interviews in Israel prior to October 7th. Absolutely. And so what people do not understand is they have been fed propaganda from the time that they are born about what Palestinians are. The same way the United States of America has given propaganda from our beginning about what Black and brown people are. There's a reason in this country when a Black man walks down the street, white women step to the other side or hold their purse in an elevator. There's a reason. There's a reason they play Birth of a Nation in the fucking White House. Hamza, that's his name, Hamzah. There's a reason. So the same way that they have propagandized what Black and brown people are in the United States of America is the same way that Israel has propagandized what Palestinians are. Like, this is a real thing. Yeah, Shamsa, I've talked a little bit about the Greater Israel Project. It's why they are booming Lebanon at the same time as Gaza, at the same time as Iran. There's a reason. No, it did not begin. So you all, okay, I'm going to show you a document. Just hold on. I really need you all to get this. What about Hamas? 1 second, folks. It would help if I could.
Danny, I just want to make a statement, and I may be wrong, and I don't mind correction because I'm still learning all this stuff.
Right.
But I'm just gonna put this out there because it's a fact. Mm-hmm. There's bad on any side.
Okay, so let's talk about that. I want to take that statement that there's bad on any side. And I really want to bring that home.
Okay.
So when we say there is bad on any side, do we or do we not have to get back to the root cause of someone else's behavior? So, for example, if someone were to try to enter my home this evening when me and my grandchildren are here minding our business, right? And that person attempted to come in and take over my house, and I unalive that person, am I doing something bad or no?
No.
Okay, so then there's not bad on both sides.
I'm not talking about I guess what I'm saying is there's bad government.
Right, but we're not talking about the government. We're talking about Palestinian people.
Oh no, I support the people.
So, but the government is protecting the people.
Yes, but okay, so I guess where I have a problem with everything is, okay, so if we're allowing, and I know that they've been done wrong. Their land was stolen. There's a lot there. You have to go back and do the research to figure out why the Palestinians are so upset. And so I do agree that, yes, they have no home, basically.
No, they do have a home. Israel just needs to get out of their home.
But I mean, right now, they're just kind of wandering around. And that's
no, they're not. They're not allowed to wander around. Literally, Gaza is the world's largest open air prison. They built 5 huge towers around Gaza that have armed guards at the top. They don't get to walk around. They don't get to travel on certain roads. They don't get to go any damn where unless Israel says they can. They don't get to eat. They don't get to eat. Israel determines if food comes into Palestine and how much.
Wow. So wait a minute. Okay, so see, that brings new perspective.
Yeah, that's what we mean when we talk about apartheid. When we talk about apartheid, and you heard Jimmy Carter say that what is happening in Palestine is a worse apartheid than what happened in South Africa.
Wow. Okay, so wait a minute. The Strip of Gaza, which is not that very big.
No, that's not the strip. Like, that's not the strip. The strip, the coast. So the West Bank is here. Gaza is over here. But all of this is Palestine. All of this is Palestine. Where Israel has encroached upon is not their land. And it was not given to them. So I'm going to take you back and I'm going to show you all this document so that we can have a real history lesson. So I'm going to give you some dates. Feel free to write them down. And then I want you to go to my link tree and then you can read the documents for yourself. Okay? So I'm going to give you dates and I'm going to talk about documents and we're going to go all the way through it. And then we're going to understand what has been happening to Palestinians at the hands of Israel since 1948. Okay? So, yeah, Colleen, I do have the maps, but let me just give you the dates and then I'll pull up the maps. Okay? And if somebody wants to send them to me so I don't have to search for them, that would be great too. If somebody wants to text me or WhatsApp me the pictures of the map, that would be fine. Okay, so follow me. You already heard me talk about the Balfour Declaration. The Balfour Declaration is when the Jewish Zionists asked the British, hey, we want to build a national home for Jews, and we pick that we're going to do it in Palestine. Will y'all help us do that? And the Brits say, sure, we'll help you do that. But the Brits say, listen, when we help you do that, it has to be with the understanding that you do not infringe upon the rights and the religious freedom of the people that already exist there. That would be the Palestinians, the Arabs, the Muslims, right? And that you don't infringe upon the rights of Jews that live anywhere else in the world. Those were the conditions, okay? Now, that was done in November of 2017, okay? And that was during World War I, when technically Palestine was under the Ottoman Empire. It did not belong to the Brits to give away. But of course, white peopling in the West, like they usually do, they want to take over somebody else's land that doesn't belong to them. So that I'm not 2017, sorry, y'all, 1917. Whew, I'm talking too fast. 1917, during World War I. Thank y'all, appreciate it. 1917. Now, jump forward to 1922. 1922 is when the League of Nations was created. And when the League of Nations was created, Article 22 of their mandate was they established what they call the British Mandate. And so what they determined was they were looking at all of these lands that were under the authority of the losers of the war. And they were deciding what was going to happen with those lands. And so what they said to Palestine was, Palestine is not developed enough, doesn't have the right infrastructure or all of that to be able to run itself in the modern world. So we're going to do the British Mandate. And so the British are going to be there. They're going to oversee your country, your population, and they're going to help you. We're going to help you to become your own nation that can rule itself. Now, what they didn't tell Palestinians under the British Mandate was, we already agreed to give away part of your land to these Eastern European Jews who are Jewish Zionists. That's what they didn't tell them. So when the Brits come into Palestine with all of their weaponry, with all of their military weaponry, right? When they bring them here, they bring the Jewish Zionists with them, right? They carve out land and they tell Israel, you can have this much land, right? And when they do that, what do you think Palestinians started to do? Because somebody came in trying to kick them out of their homes and take their land. Palestinians started fighting back because that's their home. That's their land. You don't just get to come and take it away from them. Okay. And then when the Brits were getting ready to leave, so the Brits were supposed to leave May 15th, 1948. And you had Israel and Palestinians that were fighting each other because Israel kept trying to take more and more land. And so the British said, listen, we need to have a truce before we go so that when we leave, there's not an all-out war, right? So here's what happened. On May 4th, this is a draft memorandum that was going to be sent. This was declassified in 2018, and I will show you the memorandum because y'all know that's what I like to do, so that you can see what it says for yourself. All right. So this is a secret document that was declassified in 2018. You can see that I'm on the Secretary of State's website looking at historical documents. This is a draft memorandum by the Director of the Office of the United Nations Affairs, Rusk, to the Undersecretary of State, who was Lovett at the time. Subject, future course of events in Palestine, May 4th, 1948. Here's what it says. The refusal of the Jewish agency, that would be Israel, last night to agree to our proposal for on-the-spot truce negotiations in Palestine on the grounds that they could not accept the quote-unquote moral obligation to undertake such conversations, rather clearly reveals the intention of the Jews, which would be Israel, to go steadily ahead with the Jewish separate state by force of arms. While it is possible that Arab acceptance of our proposal might place the Jewish agency in such a position via public opinion that it would have to go through the motions of looking for a truce, it seems clear that in light of the Jewish military superiority, which where did they get that? They got superior military from the British, right? Because the Jewish Israel is now militarily superior to Palestine, they will be able to prefer to round out its state after May 15th when we leave and rely on its own armed strength to defend that state from Arab counterattack. Now check this out. Military operations after May 15th will probably be undertaken by the Haganah, which was their regular Israeli police, with the assistance of the Jewish terrorist organizations Ergen and Stern. So I want us to be clear. I'm aware, Jen Cat, I've made the distinction that this is about Zionists and not all Jews. I make that distinction all the time. All the time. All the time. Okay? So what is important to know here is that we were aware that terrorist organizations, Ergen and Stern, we were going to combine with the Haganah, and that is what became the IDF. So when I say that the IDF is made up of terrorists, that's because it is. Based on historical documents. Okay? So then it says copies of General Watson's excellent reports, which happened on May 3rd, are attached, and they provide the estimate of the British general officer commanding as to the probable cause of military events after we withdraw on May 15th. Now, if these predictions come true, we shall find ourselves in the UN confronted by a very anomalous situation. The Jews, which is Israel, will be the actual aggressors against the Arabs, which is Palestine. However, the Jews, which is Israel, will claim that they are merely defending the boundaries of a state which were traced by the UN and approved, at least in principle, by 2/3 of the UN membership. The question which will confront the Security Council in scarcely 10 days' time will be whether Israeli armed attack on Palestinian communities is legitimate or whether it constitutes such a threat to international peace and security as to call for coercive measures by the Security Council. This situation may be made more difficult and less clear-cut if, as is probable, other Arab armies from outside of Palestine cross the frontier to aid them, because they will be the objects of Jewish or Israeli attack. In the event that the other Arab countries come to the aid of Palestinians, Israel will come running to the UN, to the Security Council, and they will claim that they are the object of armed aggression, and they will use every means to obscure the fact that it is their own armed aggression against the Arabs inside Palestine, which is the cause of the Arab or Palestinian counterattack. So what they say is, listen, it might fuck up everything we've got going in the Middle East if this happens. So listen, this is what they said. So the wisest course of action for us, for the US and Great Britain, with the assistance of France, is to have a diplomatic action with the other Abdullah of Transjordan and Jewish Agency, right? To try to kind of make a deal. That's what they said. So I want to be clear. What happened directly after this? What happened directly after this, when the British left, is what they call the Nakba. And this is where Israeli forces proceeded to unalive and displace 800,000 Palestinians. That was the beginning. And since that time, for what now? 79 years? Since 48? Israel has been attacking Palestine. Israel has been unaliving Palestinians. Israel has been starving Palestinians. Israel has been illegally occupying the West Bank. Israel has been torturing Palestinians since 1948. And every country in the world let it happen because they could still get what they needed from the other Arab countries, i.e. oil, i.e. resources. The only way that Western countries were going to come and help Palestine is if they had to in order to get their resources. But as long as the rest of the world could continue to operate the way that it was, everyone took what they could get and they left Palestinians to die at the hands of Israel. And that's not me. That is historical documents telling you that fact.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's the world that we live in. That is why I say undeniably that the world will not be okay until we do right by Palestinians. The United States of America will never be okay until we do right by Native Americans and Black and brown people in this country, because this is what we've done. We think that we can build greatness on the backs of genocide and theft and robbery and torture and unaliving. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. You cannot grow good things from bad soil. The blood of indigenous people and Native Americans is in the soil of the United States of America. You will not grow good things.
Kind of makes me think, because okay, yes, it's in the Old Testament, but did Jesus not say, set my people free?
But that was Pharaoh in Egypt.
Well, yeah, but I kind of think it applies here.
Oh, you mean in terms of letting them go? 100%.
Yes.
100%. 100%. I know what you meant, Ramona. I know what you meant.
I mean, regardless, like you stated earlier, we're all his people.
Right. If that's your faith. If that's your faith. And I just want to be clear about something. I need to clear up a couple of other things while we're here in this moment. Okay? Islam does not teach for them to go unalive everybody. The word jihad means to struggle. And in Islam, it talks about the struggle against your own sin, the struggle that it is to live according to the faith of Islam. Islam teaches that you are not to judge anyone else because of their faith. Islam teaches that you are not to judge anybody else about that. I need to be clear about that. Were there jihadist extremists? No, absolutely not. They would not have to struggle if you were the fuck out their country.
Dani's from the same state I am, but here's how I view that. I don't care if it's Islam, Buddhism, it doesn't matter to me. In the realm of it all, I think it's just a different name that we call our higher power.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that. I'm just making distinctions because in the United States of America, when you think terrorist, I can promise you this: you don't picture a white man, do you?
Actually, I do, because of all the school shootings.
Now right. Maybe, right? And I don't know that you would even think terrorist, right? I mean, we do now, but we know that that's not typically what we all picture.
Correct. And I think that goes back to 9/11.
But nope, it goes back way further than that. It goes way back further than that. I think everyone needs to understand Israel would not be able to have the apartheid and the illegal occupation or have committed the genocide against Palestinians if it was not for the United States of America. We fund them, we equip them, we make it possible for Israel to do what it does. And it is not because of 9/11. They were the terrorists way before that. It's been this way since I was born my whole life. Christianity has always made Muslims be terrorists. Always. It's the same reason in this country, when you see a headline, if there's a headline that says a woman was robbed, that's all it says. And guess what she is? She's white. The only time you see color mentioned is if the perpetrator or the victim is of color. White people get to be the people by default. You don't ever pick up your paper and see white woman went to the store and got robbed. You don't ever see that. You just see woman got robbed. Because in this country, that's why you guys feel offended. And you don't even know why. You feel some sort of abrasiveness when somebody refers to you as a white person. Because you're just used to being able to be the person. You're not used to being identified by the color of your skin. You just get to be people. We always have to be Black people or brown people or African American people or Hispanic people or Mexican people or Puerto Rican people or Cuban people or Haitian people or Somali people. That is propaganda.
That's like I teach the girls, like they're biracial. And I tell them, because they're like, well, I don't want to be mixed. And I tell them, honey, that makes you special. I said, but guess what? There's nobody 100% anything.
So let me give you another word. They are not mixed. They are biracial. We mix colors. We mix food. We mix icing. We don't mix people. We don't mix people. Okay, so let me just share this with you, okay? Because I'm a biracial child from the early 70s, okay? So I am what you would call the loving generation. I am the first generation that came from legal marriages. Carol, it's in the UN archives. It's in the US archives. It's in my link tree. It's a draft memorandum. All you have to look up is UN 1948 Jewish agency refusal, and it'll come up. But let me just say this. No, it was Loving versus the US. And that case was in 1967. Okay. My parents got married in Washington, D.C. because it was illegal in many places in the country. All right. So the thing that this country did not do, they changed laws, but they equipped no one for integration. No one. There were white schools that teachers would refuse to even teach, or teachers didn't know how to teach. They didn't know how to teach Black and brown children. They had no idea. And we had textbooks that were written by the Daughters of the Confederacy and fucking Ghislaine Maxwell's daddy. We had textbooks that talk about in the South how the slaves were quote unquote frolicking in the fucking fields. And that's like J.D. Vance saying that there was a benefit to slavery. By the way, we didn't have slaves in this country. We didn't. Do you know?
To his pockets.
Yeah, but we did not have slaves in the United States of America. Let me be clear. We had enslaved people. We had enslaved doctors. We had enslaved fishermen. We had enslaved nannies. We had enslaved teachers. We had enslaved engineers. We had enslaved architects. They were enslaved people. They were not slaves. They were not property. They were enslaved people that had skills and they had benefit and they had life and they had value. But when you understand how the language in our media and in our education has disproportionately favored white population and whitewashed true history, then you understand something. Then you're on the cusp of being able to grasp exactly who we are. I'm going to give you guys a couple of books for recommendation purposes. Give me 1 second. And I'm just grabbing just a couple. My couple ended up being about 5. But here we go. It's because I just used my small bookcase right here and not my one over there. So first, start out with Lies My Teacher Told Me. Lies My Teacher Told Me. You will find out that Helen Keller was a communist. You will find out that Helen Keller supported the NAACP with a $100 check long before women's suffrage was a thing. Go start with Lies My Teacher Told Me. If you really want to do something, Google his last name, Lowen, Loewen. Google his last name and sundown towns. He literally made a database of sundown towns in the United States of America. And you can actually see whether they are still a sundown town today, whether they're not a sundown town. And even though he's now deceased, the college that he worked for is still continuing his work. Next, I recommend The New Jim Crow by Michelle Alexander. If you think that Jim Crow laws are over, they are not. They're just new. They're just done a different way. It's the same thing. Folks, in 1954, it was N-word, N-word, N-word. In the 60s and the 70s, it was forced busing and states' rights and economic issues. In the 90s, it was super predator and thugs. Today, it is DEI. It is woke. It is what are the other ones? DEI, woke, critical race theory, right? It's the same propaganda. They're in my link tree already.
I know you live in the east of our state, but a little further south from you, there's a little town that is still a very highly sundown town that still has the signs.
Oh no, listen, there are still sundown towns all over the place, which, by the way, you can also grab The Long Southern Strategy and you can read that. And then you can go over here to, this one is a real good one, which is The Unaliving the Black Body. You will find out about all of the things that was done to Native American women and Hispanic women and Black women in this country. You will find out about forced sterilization. You can find out about what they call the father of gynecology, Dr. Mims, who proceeded to experiment on Black women with no anesthesia. How about that? All of your gynecology, all of your obstetrics, your father of gynecology, you're benefiting from how he tortured Black women with no anesthesia. Then you can go to Black AF History by my poet and friend Michael Harriot. And then you can go to On Palestine by Chomsky if you want to, right? And then you can do this one, The Battle for Justice in Palestine. Those are just a few. Now, if you want,
off of Amazon.
Yeah, you can also get them off of oceanofpdf.com. I have a list that is already in my link tree. I also have a list not only of books but of documentaries. Every single one of you, if you have not watched the documentary 13th, it is on Netflix or it is on YouTube. You can watch An Uncomfortable Truth. It talks about, it's by Loki Mulholland and another gentleman. Let me see. Go watch the Khalif Browder story. If you don't understand how our criminal justice system works, if you don't know what stop and frisk really does to people. So I do thriftbooks.com, but you can also go to Ocean of PDF and you can download the books for free. It's an online library and you can download the book in PDF version. But the reason I'm, what's up, Sherry? No worries. The reason I am as adamant as I am about things, and especially so vocal about Palestine, is because I was raised what I call neck deep in church as a Christian, right? I was a person that said the Israelites are the chosen people. I was a person that said it was Adam and Eve, not Adam and Steve. I was a person that said if you got pregnant, it's because God wanted you to be pregnant and there's no reason for you to get an AB. I was a person that said and believed all of those things. So this is the part that's important. Now that I know differently, my apology and my new education needs to be as loud and as proud as my old. Right?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
I don't get to be quiet now that I know better. And I don't get to pretend like I never said or did anything wrong. It wasn't that long ago. I was still talking about, yes, there should be a two-state solution. It's oceanofpdf.com. And so that's just what I believe.
And I believe that's where a lot of the division comes in, because, like, if you were born and raised in the South, there were certain beliefs and values that was just instilled in us from birth. Okay, so now that we're getting older and we're starting to realize, hey, that don't sound right.
Mm-hmm.
And we go looking for answers like I do in these lives.
Right.
I'm like, okay, what? Wait a minute. There's some truth here. And so, and by all means, anybody listening, Dani will say this.
Oh, is it? Is it Dirty Bad? I didn't know that. Somebody recommended it to me. I had no idea about that site. He says it's a pirating site. I didn't know. Go to Thrift Goods too. Thrift Books, not Thrift Goods. Thrift Books. I didn't know that, y'all. Thank you for telling me. Somebody just told me to go get it. Libby is good too.
But like Dani says a million times, don't take what she says for value. Do your own research because, like, I did not know about the Jimmy Carter being involved in the Palestinian
elections.
I learned something.
Look at that hoopla.
That's exciting. What did you discover? Hush, Alexa. Alexa wants in on the conversation.
Yeah, see, that's why I don't have that shit in my house. They be eavesdropping.
Beep, beep. Honk, honk.
Yeah. See?
I'm like that friend who can't help but jump. Alexa, stop.
See? I don't, Listen, my daughter be talking to Alexa. And one day we were having a conversation and Alexa started talking to me. And I said, shut up. Ain't nobody talking to you. My daughter, hey. Don't be mean to her. Because in case one day I said, see, if you got to worry about your technology coming for you, nah.
Well, they say the smart TVs do the same thing.
They all do.
And you can't buy a regular TV anymore.
No. Yep. Jimmy Carter also wrote a book called Palestine, Peace and Not Apartheid. But so you all, I give you, if you have never ever been to my link tree, all you have to do is click my bio and my link is in there. And every bit of it is in here. There's a whole section with links for all the documents that I just showed you. They're in here. Every single one of them. The articles and the resources about the weapons that we gave Israel that literally evaporated 3,000 Palestinians. Holy shit, y'all. They literally evaporated them. 2,800 and some odd. What in the world? It's like Trump saying today, we'll just keep bombing. What did he say? Bombing the hell out of them. Who talks about that? Who does that? So anyway, I just want everybody to know all of that. Yeah, bombing our little hearts out. Thank you, Amy. That was it. I'm trying to look in here to see what I have. I have that link in here, and I'm trying to figure out where I have it because it's so damn long.
Do you agree with the AI shenanigans?
What do you mean?
Okay, so you're from my same state. Did you see the grandma that was arrested?
Yeah, I shared it. She's from she's from the Tri-Cities. She's from Carter County. She's from Elizabethton.
So she was arrested all on
it was AI.
AI.
Yeah.
And she had never been to North Dakota.
Yeah. So if you guys don't know what she's talking about, I shared this story on my Facebook. So there is a woman, a 50-something-year-old grandmother in Carter County, Tennessee, which is where Elizabethton is. That's the region where I'm from. And the police showed up at her door and they arrested her for a fraud that occurred in North Dakota. She ain't never been to North Dakota. She was able to say, listen, I've never left here and gone to North Dakota. They extradited her. They put her ass in jail, and it took about 4 months. And it was only because AI said that it was her face. The police literally just looked on her social media and said, yeah, that looks like her. And they came and arrested her. And now she has an attorney.
She spent 6 months in jail, and then they ended up dropping the charges. Was it the day before Christmas?
Yeah, they dropped the charges because they finally looked at the evidence to show she was in Tennessee when it happened. But yeah, she's from where I'm from. I don't know if it was flock technology or not. They just said it was AI. And so she does have an attorney.
Here's where I get concerned. If we allow AI to advance, do you know how dangerous that's going to be if it gets in the hands of the...
It's already in the hands. It's in the hand. What do you mean? It's in the hands.
I'm talking about with, like, if they actually use... I know that the police force...
ICE is going around scanning people's faces.
Oh, is that what they're using?
Yeah. ICE is scanning people's faces.
Ah. So, okay, that makes sense. So that's what they were using to determine, and then they relate it to like social media to see who they can and can't.
Yeah, our military uses it, ICE uses it, all of that. Flock is no damn joke. That Flock technology, when you go driving by it, they are literally tracking everything. Yes, and Palantir is neck deep in our military.
Wow.
Yeah, so this is what I'm telling you all. This is why nobody can afford to sit around and not participate in this election. Nobody can sit around and allow and not have a Democratic majority. And here's the thing, the Democrats aren't perfect at fucking all. Let me be clear. However, Palantir is owned by Peter Thiel. Yeah, it's horrible. Y'all, there is so much. I'm just telling you all, this is why I am focused.
What is the Flock?
It's these big things that when you drive down the street, they're indexing all your license plates and your information. And they're creating a huge damn database.
Do we know what the purpose of that database is?
Shit. Here's what I can tell you. Here's what I can tell you is nothing good. Because I know who's behind it. That's what I can tell you. Nothing good. Like, it's just really important for people to understand that I can promise you this. The billionaires are not going to choose to do right by the people.
Of course not. We got one that wants us all dead.
Well, so here's the thing. This is why I need for people to understand they are not on your behalf. Never. And people need to understand that. I'm still scrolling in my damn link tree, trying to find this thing. So I can delete it. But I'm not kidding. Yeah, there's a whole thing that says recommended documentaries in my thing. Good gosh. I've got Bad Faith, Shiny Happy People, The Hate Next Door, God and Country, The Family. It's not about the faith, it's about the power. White with Fear, The Social Dilemma, 13th. Yeah. I have stuff on gerrymandering, the Princeton Gerrymandering Project. I've got the SAVE Act in here. I've got Blue Voter Guide, the 5 things to know about the SAVE Act, non-citizen voting, the missing millions, all of that. It's all in the link tree, people. There's, Project Implicit by Harvard free courses, common types of hidden biases, bias assessment and strategies, blind spot, the hidden biases of good people, a media bias chart is in here, everything about Kavanaugh is in here. There's a whole section on racism education. There's a whole section also about U.S. history and the Constitution, all the immigration stuff, all of the Kilmar Abrego Garcia stuff, all of the DOJ's corrupt stuff. All of that is in there. There's a whole section on women's health, Medicaid facts and resources, blah, 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 blah. And I still can't find the one thing that I'm looking for.
Waiting for Armageddon?
Oh, yeah, I just give up right now. I'll find it later. Because if it's this far down, I just, oh, wait, it's going to be somewhere around here. Because this is all Project 2025. This is all Trump's agenda. This is all, yep, I got it. I found it. Okay, I found it. So, yeah, folks, just so that everybody knows, I don't just sit up here and talk all day long for no damn reason. The idea is to equip you with resources for you to be able to figure things out for yourself. So I'm just going to tell you guys, Israel has equipped, they don't just do surveillance tech in Palestine. Israel has gone into other African, Jeffrey with the E, Jeffrey E, and Ehud Barak. They went into a West African country and sold them the surveillance tech for there. That was Jeffrey E. and Ehud Barak, the former prime minister of Israel, that sold that intelligence to a West African country. Can you build my link tree into a website? I mean, I guess. Message me. How about that? Message me. But yeah, folks, there's a ton of, oh, thanks, Peaceful Threads. I appreciate that. You know, so folks, she said, oof, this is too much. Okay, so let me shift gears for just a second. Okay. This is why I do the other work that I do. Okay. This is why I wrote and developed Project for the People. Okay. This is, so let me just ask, how many of you all that are in here right now do not know about the project that I've been working on? Put a 1 in the chat if you do not know about the project that I've been working on, because we meet on Thursday. Okay. Sandy, you lie. Sandy knows. There's a lot of you guys that don't know. You just learned a few days ago, Latifa. Okay. All right. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take a second to show it to you. Let me ask you this. All of you guys that just put a 1 in the chat, if you would like to be part of something that can actually close the divide in our country and help us win the midterms and get back on track, put a 2 in the chat. Put a 2 if that's you. Okay, there's lots of you all. I love that. Okay, so then what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take a minute to share what I've been doing. Okay. All right, Michelle, I'm going to go ahead and drop you. Okay. Appreciate you.
Oh, okay, darling. Thank you.
Yep. All right. So listen, folks. So here's the deal. This project is giving you hope. I love that, Tara. Okay. So follow me, you guys. They wrote Project 2025. They wrote Project Esther, right? What I know is the conservative movement, the MAGA movement. Yeah, Lisa, I will. What I know is that they do a great job of planning their work and working their plan, right? They write their projects and then they work them. And I have seen nothing like that from the progressive side of the world. And so what I heard all the time on this app and all the other apps was, what can we do about it? What can we do about it? What can we do about it? And I got tired of waiting for somebody else to figure out something. So I wrote a project. And then I have been working overtime to give you resources to go with the project. Okay. So bear with me and I'm going to share it with you. So the first thing that I'm going to show you is the data. Salam, Osama, Mohammed Osama. So the first thing I'm going to show you is the data. Okay. So I went through the election. I went through election data from 2024, actually from 2020 all the way through 2025. Every federal election, and I identified the 12 states, the top 12 states that had margins of 10% or less. And the reason why that's significant is because Democrats are performing at a 13% gain. So not only did I look at the states that had a margin of 10% or less, I looked at the counties within those states that have margins of 10% or less that had that same margin the majority of the last 6 or 7 elections in each state. I'm going to show you what that looks like. You ready, y'all? So this is Pennsylvania. Okay. I did it for Michigan, Wisconsin, Virginia, New Jersey, Georgia, Pennsylvania, North Carolina, Minnesota, Arizona, New Hampshire, and New Mexico. Let me explain to you the power of this data. So these are the 16 counties in Michigan that continuously show up with a margin of 10% or less. You can see that this is the 2020 presidential. This is the 2020 Senate. This is the 2022 House. This is the 2024 Senate, the 24 House, and the 24 presidential election. And keep in mind, I did this for all of these 12 states manually, okay? Now, follow this, okay? Here's what you can do with that information. So in Michigan, in just these 16 counties, Michigan, Democrats lost Michigan by 80,000 votes. The people in these 16 counties that voted third party was almost 47,000. That is almost 60% of this deficit, right? And those people voted, but they just voted third party. And then in these 16 counties, 1.1 million people did not vote that were registered to vote. So this shows you the opportunity where to flip counties, which also means what districts you also end up flipping. See? It shows you. All right? And so this way you know where you can organize. Now check this out from a perspective. 4 of these are in House District 1 in Michigan. These 4 counties. Well, guess what? These 4 counties, just these 4, make up 53% of the votes needed to flip House District 1, which has historically always been red, right? So now I want you to think about, this is election data, which I still have other states to do it for. These aren't the only ones I'm doing it for, but I started with those 12 because those were the ones that had the closest margins as an entire state. But what I wanted you to do was to have resources to go out into your community and talk to people. So let me show you what this looks like. So this is the Project for the People resources. We have a meeting this Thursday night at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We will be picking the date in April that is our first day of action, and then you will get links to these things. All right. So first of all, one of the things that I believe is important is the Medicaid cuts and the cuts to SNAP that are coming because of the big barbaric bill, right? So go to State Digital Resources and you're going to see all 50 states here. I created all of these graphics and all of the data in the last 8 weeks. All right. So watch this. I'm going to just pick really quickly. I'll pick New York. So in New York, what you will see is flyers for Congressional District 1, but I also have it for you in Spanish. So if I pick Congressional District 1 in New York, here's a Medicaid graphic. In New York's first district, 20,000 people are projected to lose their Medicaid by 2034 because of the bill. And then, hold on, this one is SNAP. Okay, so 11,000 people in this one district. So what happens is that when you go into your communities, you can now tell your community specifically what is happening in their area. And that is why it's also in Spanish. Now, down here, it tells you where the source is. But what we also have is we have print versions of flyers for you to go out into your community. So watch this. So I don't want people to just believe me or you. Okay. If I go back here, these are the links for the sources. So in English, here are the places where I got all of the data, and you can click them and go straight there. And I also have the sources available in Spanish, so people can see them in Spanish and go there. All right. Now, the other thing that is available to you these are the flyers for handout. Okay. So this one is in English, and then it again is in Spanish. So imagine being able to print this flyer. The majority of Medicaid adults work. And you can see, regardless of the political leaning of the state, the results are the same. So why are they making this an issue, right? Why are they making it an issue when this is the truth? So here's the myth. The myth is people are taking advantage of Medicaid and choosing not to work while getting benefits for free. The fact is, across the country, the majority of adults on Medicaid are working regardless of the political leaning of the state. This is who's bringing you the information, which is just us. And then you can actually scan this QR code. When you scan this QR code, it's going to take you to a page. So let me show you what the page is that it takes you to. Give me a sec. I think I did it like this. Did I spell it right? Look, me, did I spell it right? Okay, for goodness sake. Oops. Sorry, guys. I put dashes. I'm going to change that actually because I don't like having dashes in the URL. I usually change that, but I didn't this time. Okay, so watch. I manually went through all of the Secretary of State's websites and manually did all the data and then got into a spreadsheet and did it. So this is the page that it takes to if you click the QR code, how we can work together to make America truly great. And then this is a video that's clipped from the webinar where I showed people the project. And then you can click here to join the movement. And this explains what it's about, and you can click. And so when you click, you go to this form that is also in my link tree, and this is how you join to be part of what we do. So here's what I want you to imagine, okay? Here's what I want you to imagine. I want you to imagine on the same day in April, because my followers make up over 43 of the states in this country, okay? So imagine on the same day, people in 40-something different states at the same day going into their communities, giving out the same flyer, taking pictures of sharing the Medicaid information with their communities, right? Imagine everybody posting those social media graphics across their socials all on the same day, and everybody using the same hashtag, which is hashtag for the people. Then you have a movement. All of a sudden, it's happening everywhere. Imagine going live while you're taking those flyers, because it's not about politics. It's literally just facts for the people in your community. So what we're going to do Thursday night at 6:00 is, thanks, Scotty, is we're going to have a meeting. We're going to pick our first day of action that is happening in April, right? And then we are going to role play, and we're going to practice having conversations. How do I knock on a door and say, hey, listen, I'm your neighbor, right? And I'm not with any political party. I'm not with a candidate. I just want to give you some information about Medicaid in our district. I just want to give you some information about some changes that are coming in our district, and the source is right there. So you can go look that up whenever you have time. And then you leave them alone. You're just giving them information. Yep, I'm your coworker. Maybe you get a table at the farmer's market. Maybe you just go around and put it in people's newspaper boxes. Never a mailbox because that's illegal, right? But what we want to do is we want to role play and we want to practice. So just imagine you get together with your friends, right? Say 3 or 4 of you get together and you tackle a community on this Saturday morning, right? And you do these flyers and you guys take pictures of all of you guys out doing your stuff and having fun and whatever. And you post it in a cool little video on TikTok and on Facebook, and you add some music to it, right? And you hashtag it, hashtag for the people. And all of a sudden, this is happening in 40 something damn states at the same time. And so these are just the beginning documents. I did all 50 states, every congressional district in every state. And then I did the first flyer, which is the myth versus fact around Medicaid adults that work. And there's more. I have a myth versus fact about immigration. I have a myth versus fact about AB and rural hospitals and all of those. So this is me. This is what I couldn't just do TikTok. I couldn't just do Facebook and YouTube. I wanted to give people resources and tools on how to go from social media to boots on the ground, actual organizing in your local areas. And not for one party or the other, but for what's necessary. Yeah, I'm on Upscroll too, but Upscroll doesn't have a live feature, Nina. But that's the thing. This is the reason. This is the goal. And you want to equip people with information that matters to them. And then let's say you come by twice in a month, right? By the time you get to May and you get to that 4th visit, that 3rd or 4th visit, then you can start to have a conversation. Then it's, hey, I know I've come by. Yeah, I copywrote all my work. Yes, Gigi. Yeah, I copywrote all the work. And there's actually a playbook that you have. There's a playbook where I talk about how to have these conversations. And I talk about what are the issues that people are talking about, healthcare and education and housing and economic mobility and all of those things, right? And so I just couldn't sit around and talk about all the bad shit they're doing all the time and not talk about good things, not talk about what we need to be focused on. This is the stuff that we need to be doing. And I believe that more people agree on these issues than they think they do. Can you imagine going into your community and saying, hey, 20,000 people in these 4 counties are all going to are gonna lose their Medicaid? Which one of you is okay with your neighbors? Which neighbor are you okay with not being able to buy their baby's groceries? Like, y'all, let me just say this. I'm pissed as fuck right now that these airports have the nerve to be doing a drive for TSA agents. Are you fucking serious? The CEOs of the airlines need to be paying the salaries. The American public should not be making up for the failures of our government. The American public should not be making up for the shit that they got us in. The CEOs of these damn airlines need to cough up the money. They're the ones that need people on the planes. The airlines need the airport open. You make $50 million a year, Mr. CEO. You cover that damn salary. What do they make? Maybe $50,000, $70,000 a year? Cough that shit up and cover it. Don't be asking me for a $20 damn gift card. Yeah, I'm just saying. This is the deal. It should not be the American people trying to scrounge around and give $20 for other Americans when we are about to face the highest gas prices, the highest food prices, the highest fertilizer prices. Absolutely fucking not. These airlines need to be paying that money. Woo. Right. And there's already a fee for the TSA agents. Pay them out of that money. I'm just saying, I am tired of seeing the failures of our government, the failures of Congress, and the failures of rich people to pay livable wages, right? And then the rest of us supposed to pick up and fill in the gap. While the millionaires are fucking buying and selling stocks left and right based on everything that Trump says so they can manipulate the market. Fuck those people. I'm dead serious. Fuck those people. They don't give a damn about people. I don't know about you all, but I am sick and tired of seeing regular working class people get the short end of the fucking stick all the time. All the time. Corporations are not people. And they should never be put above the interest of people. Do y'all realize that I have stories that I wanted to share with you all, but do you all know that a judge forced women to have C-sections? A judge determined how these women in 2024 had their babies. Did you all know that? Did you all know that Georgia is prosecuting a military person from having the AB pill sent to her? Yes, I'm dead ass. It's a ProPublica article. So let me just share it with you because we here now. So hold on. I told y'all I had a ton of stuff pulled up to talk to y'all about. All right. So this is a ProPublica article. If I can find where okay, here it is. So on the afternoon of September 9th, 2024, Sharice Doyley, of course, a Black woman, was in her 12th hour of contractions at University of Florida Health in downtown Jacksonville when a nurse came in with a bed sheet and told her to cover up. A supervisor brought a tablet to Doyley's bedside, and gathered on the screen was a judge in a black robe, several lawyers, doctors, and hospital staff. And Doyley said to the nurse, "It's a real judge in there?" And she said, "Now, this is the craziest thing I've seen." Doyley did not ask for a hearing. The hospital did. She had no lawyer. She had no advocate. They didn't tell her it was happening until right there. Judge Michael Khalil informed her that the state had filed an emergency petition on behalf of the hospital, not out of concern for her, but in the interest of the unborn child. And they said that her circumstances were, quote unquote, extraordinary. Now, you are talking to a woman who was in labor for 22 hours with her first kid. They wanted to force her to undergo a C-section. She is a professional birthing doula. She did not want a C-section, and she had been firm about that. She had had 3 prior C-sections. One resulted in a hemorrhage, and she did not want to risk another serious complication or lengthy recovery. So the risk of a uterine rupture was less than 2%. And she did not want to agree to a C-section unless there was an emergency. But she did not get to make that choice. The judge decided. And the judge said she had to have a C-section. I just want to be clear. The judge said she had to give a C-section. She had to have a C-section. This is why you can't sit on your ass, people. This is why you can't not be part of this. Yeah, she wanted a VBAC, and they said no. I have another one for you, so let me see if this is the one that I want. Hold on, guys. Sorry. Y'all already know how many tabs I have open. Nope. Yes. So this one is in The Guardian. The hospital, no, she didn't pass. No, she was a professional birthing doula. She did not want a C-section. She was in labor for 12 hours. The hospital wanted her to speed up. She did not want a C-section. So the hospital sought an emergency action in court in order to have a judge make her have a C-section. And that's what they did. So I want to be clear. Now what we have, yeah, she's not. Okay. Georgia, there's a Georgia woman that is charged with murder after police say she took pills to induce an AB. She's being charged with murder in Georgia. So, she went to the hospital December 30th complaining of abdominal pain. She explained to the hospital workers that she had taken misoprostol, which is used in medical ABs, right? I wonder, it doesn't say, I'm looking to see. Hold on. She's been in jail since March 4th. But what I want to know is, so just so that people understand, it is typically only done during the first 10 weeks. Yes. Listen, South Carolina has a bill. South Carolina has a bill to do the same thing. Whoop, hold on. Sorry, I hit the wrong thing. Let me see. So the article that I am looking at is, it doesn't say how many weeks she was, just that she was beyond 6 weeks. What I know is that they do not prescribe you that if you are beyond like 10 or 11 weeks. So, yeah, that's what I will say. So when I say that they are doing these things in real time, what did Mr. Global say 47 minutes ago, Tracy? I missed it. Tracy, what did you say Mr. Global did 47 minutes ago? If she was 10 weeks, that's appropriate. Alaikum salam, Mohammed. Right, Micro, exactly. Tracy, if you're still here, can you type for me? Because I can't see what you said Mr. Global did 47 minutes ago. Because I can't see it. Right, Dayglow. I am looking. India just bought a shit ton of oil from Iran at increased prices of several $1 billion. Well, that's what happens when you lift the sanctions. Yeah, I knew that was coming. If you guys are not following Mr. Global, please make sure that you do. He is a real expert in the oil and gas industry. Yeah, India. Yeah. Listen, they got the money now, y'all. They got the money now. I'm just telling you, they can absolutely. So this is what he was saying the other day. Instead of Iran's oil being $60 a barrel, right? You're now looking at $100, $110 a barrel, and they're going to sell that shit for billions of dollars. That's exactly what's happening. Just so everyone is clear. Does anybody remember what time I went live today? No, so as long as it's 11 weeks or less, you can do the pill. Sandy said early, about 9:30 my time. Okay, appreciate it. Got it. Thank you guys. Because y'all know I have to get the girls. You guys know that I have to get the girls. Now, Chris, there's more than one of them though. So where did you see that was how far along she was? Because this article by The Guardian doesn't say that. Hold on a second. Let me see. So hold on. Give me a second, you guys. So let me just say this. What they are quoting is what the warrant said. That's what they are saying. So what they are quoting in the story is that's what the warrant said. So I would only feel comfortable saying that the warrant said that they estimated, right? I just being who I am, I'll wait for more information. The warrant can say whatever, but I want to wait and see. You know what I mean? That's just me. And what I will say is that if that's a thing, this little bird keeps coming to visit me. And it's bigger than usual. I wish I had my damn glasses so I could see what kind of bird this is. But as soon as I let me see if I can use one of the girls' phones and zoom in. Because as soon as I get up to go see y'all, you know the damn thing's going to fly away and I'm not going to be able to see it. Come out from behind there. Hey, Allah Shak Shak. Damn it. And as soon as I pick up this camera, okay, it just flew away. Never mind. It is what it is. Okay. So this is one of those days where it's back. This is one of those days where I have a hard stop because because I have to get the girls. And so I just want to tell you guys that. I don't know what kind of bird this is. It's bigger than usually. Like usually I only see like house finches and stuff like that. I don't normally see one this big. And this joker had been flying around outside my window a couple times. And when it came over here earlier, it was like singing to me. It's doing it right now. It is coming right in front of. Hold on. I'm going to show y'all this damn bird. Hold on, because I want it to do it again. Okay, hold on. Give me a second. Hold on. Hush, don't laugh at me, y'all, because this bird is talking to me. Y'all see how I be pulling up Bible verses and stuff, talking to people. Okay, so see that bird right there? That bird keeps getting up, flying towards that window, and flapping its wings all around me and singing. It's a dove, because it's big as hell. See, I ain't got my glasses on, y'all, so I can't see that far. It's a mourning dove. So it literally keeps coming up to my window, and it keeps flapping its wings, flying around and singing to me. Look, watch. He getting ready to come again. Let me see. No, I don't have a bird feeder. That's why when I first moved here, I got a bird feeder. None of them would eat it. I can see that it's a damn bird, Sandy. I can't see what it is. And I got y'all all the way zoomed in. See? I can see it on the phone now. Let me see if it flies. I know y'all are like, I don't get to see the bird, Dani. I know y'all. Hold on. I want to see if he does it again. Because that joker has been coming up to my window, flying around, facing my window, y'all. Facing my window, singing. Look, you see it? That thing. It's been doing that. Can I zoom? Girl, I am zoomed. Okay, let me see. Okay, listen, hold on, TikTok. Okay, listen, you over here, y'all over here. YouTube, Facebook, listen. YouTube and Facebook, listen. I have to go because listen, I got to get the girls anyway, right? I got to get the girls anyway today. But I'll be back tomorrow. But let me see if we can see this bird. Y'all come over here. Y'all come over here on TikTok, okay? I love y'all, mean it. Y'all know we'd be crazy over here, but come on.